Right, what have we got to do? Just a quick one, and it's in a nice little packet here. Boom. It is the Hazet 810BH. So name-wise, 810. There is an 811, which is a slightly newer one, and the newer one has a slightly different handle, and there's a like hole through here, which is quite nice for lanyards and things like this. But it's a standard bit holder, so this should be a quick one. And it does say there, bit holder. That's what the BH stands for. So I did examine this packet because I tried so hard to find out whether this was actually made in Germany. I mean, it is a proper Hazet, and it's got here, well, let's have a look here. So J and B, K, so now that is 25. Now that is a postcode in Germany, and that is Remscheid, or Remscheid, however you pronounce it. If you are German, please let me know down below. Thank you very much, because I do have German people who watch this channel. So I think this is made in Germany. However, unlike a lot of stuff where, I mean, here's one here. Here's a VHAR here. They have, made in Germany stamped all of them, the same as the Knipex. And this, the PB Swiss will have like, Swiss made and things like that. I didn't notice that on here. I mean, I'll have another quick look, but I couldn't see it. So get out the packet, because that's a bit boring staring at packets. So here's what we're looking at here. So let's get a nice close look here. So very nice. At first, when I saw the size of this and the palm swell's quite large, I thought, now hang on, is this a bit holder? It isn't. Even though it's got these two marks on here, which you presume you would pinch grip and then pull, there's nothing. That's kind of solid. Although it is a component handle, so you have this hard plastic here, listen, and then rubber. And the rubber is quite nice, so I'll indent it with my thumb there, and let's see what happens. And then it quickly goes. It's similar, but not as good as, obviously, as the PB Swiss. The PB Tools handles are absolutely phenomenal to use. I can't say enough good things about them, but that's not what this review is about. So it's not up to that level. It's a tiny little bit more tacky in comparison to a VHAR. So the VHAR soft grip handles here, they're really nice and I like them. I've got a little stubby that I use all the time. In fact, I've got multiple ones of them. Ignore this Trojan branded here. This is a VHAR. And I really like this. This is one of my more favourite grips. If I can't get a PB Swiss, I quite like these ones. I know I'm a big fan of the Vera stuff here, but I know there's people on this channel who say they're a load of rubbish, I don't like them. I get it. It fits me perfectly. My fingers go in like that. I really like them, but I realise why there were people saying, VHAR grips, I don't like them. I get it. But in this regard, beautiful, really nice, and it's, like I say, slightly more tacky than the VHAR, and I love the VHARs, so extremely nice. Slightly angular, so it's got these cutouts here, and the neck is slightly angular, you see? So you've got a sectioned off bit there, then it rounds, then there. Point of that is it stops it falling off tables. It does to a degree, so if you push it, it will stop, but if you give it enough of a push, it's going to fly off. That just gives you options when you're dealing with things and you've got your hands full and things like that, and you've got, screws in your mouth to try and hold them, and then you've got something stuck on your head. It's difficult. So this is the Hazet 810BH, and it is a 1/4 inch, in other words 6.3 mil if you like your millimeters there, a bit holder. So let's try a standard bit. So I happen to have some Vera ones here, that'll do. Let's try a Phillips one. So these just happen to be, I think these are diamond coated here, diamond coated ones. I'm not going to go into the purpose of that, but not in this review. So before we do that, it is 1/4 inch. Now look down there, you see in the middle, you have a 1 ball bearing as a retention mechanism. And then you have this outer sleeve which actions it all. Now, strangely, down the bottom it is magnetic, but I don't understand why. And I'll show you why, because look, if you try and put a bit in, you can't. It doesn't go in, even if you force it. You've got to move the sleeve up, then push it in. Now, it does actually go in the opposite way, watch, just to prove that there is a magnet there, watch. I will, now watch it jump. Do you see the jump there? And there's a gap. So to prove there is a magnet in there. I'm not sure why, because firstly, you've got to move this anyway, so you couldn't just magnet and use it. And secondly, it's extremely weak, so it doesn't really pick up anything. So the whole point of magnet is to retain the bit, but also you have a secondary function where you can hold the fastener. I didn't find it particularly strong. In fact, it was very weak. There was a tiny little bit of traction there. Watch it jump up, watch. See there, it's moving and it's lifting slightly. It's extremely weak, so I'm not sure why they've done that. Comments down below if I'm getting this wrong, but for me, I mean, at the end of the day, I bought this because it is a bit holder. I prefer that because I use a lot of posi drive and things like that. and I get sort of fastener bite where it pulls the damn fastener out, or it leaves the bit in the fastener and you have to go and get the bloody bit out and put it back in the... I hate that. I haven't got time for that. So I prefer this. So like I say, it won't go in unless you lift the collar, and then that's it. It will not come out, and it's extremely tight. Watch. Play-wise, 0. I can't get it to move up and down, look. My thumb's moving up and down, but the bit isn't. And then in and out, nothing, look. 0 play. Now there is play on a power bit. So this is a standard, normal, a little bit. However, if we go to a power type, in other words, it's got the anvil. This is a European and American anvil here. So this is what you'd put in the chuck of your driver. So again, it won't go in until you actuate this, and then it will. Now there is some play here, so let's just show you, and I'll move this tiny little bit there, you see. Very, very small. This is a longer bit, so you're going to see anything look larger. It's within tolerable levels, and in and out a bit more, you see. So just be aware of that. So I was a little bit annoyed by that, but it doesn't affect the working of this. Can you put a screw in? Of course you can. It has nothing to do with that. But sometimes, and not always, but sometimes, level of play can give you an indication of how it's built. Not in this case though. I've used this multiple occasions. I've really liked it. So there you go. And like I say, magnet down the bottom, but really small and quite ineffectual. And then you have that single ball bearing there. You see it right in the center there. Okay, so component handle I really like. I like the design. There are newer ones where this is kind of slimmed off and they've got a lanyard hole through. So if you're working at height, or there's certain restrictions where you work where you have to use a lanyard, you might have to consider that one. And I think that's the 811 rather than the 810. And then they have a smaller one of this, but I don't want to go over that in this review. I want to try and keep this as quick as possible. Okay, so let's go over some pros and cons. So pros, locking head. So unlike a magnetic bit, now this is a PB Swiss tools, it's very magnetic. Where did that little bit go? So it's easier. You can just pop it in. You can do it one-handed. So you've got the tool. You're not having to put your fingers up and click down and things like that. It's easy in, easy out. Problem is when you get like fastener bite and things like that, and it gets stuck in the fastener, and you have to go and get it and put it back in. I find that annoying. But if you're just doing basic DIY and basic stuff, it's fine. That's not an issue. But on here it locks, so if you need locking, which I prefer, and I know some people say, well, what's the point? I prefer it. There, it locks, and it's extremely tight on the smaller bits. There is no play there. Beautiful. So locking head is a plus for me. It locks those small bits solid, which I really, really like. And it's got that excellent grip. Like I say, it's like the VHR, but slightly more angular. You can see the slight faceted angles here on the VHR, but on this it's more pronounced, which I don't mind. They're not irritating. They just provide more grip, similar to the grooves on the PB Swiss here. Although this is better, the price of that isn't better. This is very cheap. I was able to get this for $8 on a special deal, and I thought for $8, that's incredible. So, you know, Great British pounds, you're probably looking at about £6 or something like that, $6.50. So very, very good price. Extremely solid, well built. There's nothing funny about this. There's no real burrs. I mean, there's the join line there, you can see, but it's all finished beautifully. I've got no problems with this, and I've used this for nearly a week now. I love it. Really nice. Happy with this. And like I say, the low price, I can't argue against that price. Very, very low. Yes, you can pay more for, you know, gimmicky things like this. Do you want the VHR with bit holder and things like this? And this one even extends. Do you need that? If you do, then you might want to think about that. This has the wrap adapter, or whatever they call it, which is a locking system, very similar. Pop your bits in and the lock until you actuate up, and then they come out. So slightly different to this setup, but I quite like this. It's small, it's innocuous, and it works well. Really nice and well built. I'll give you a close look at that. There's the knurling on that. I've marred this up a little bit. It didn't come like this, where I've had this in and out of a bag with a load of other tools and things like that. So I'll forgive them on that, but very nice and well built. I've done this in 4K, so I'll give you a quick rotation there, and I've done it in HDR at the highest bit settings I can get away with. That gives you a nice close look at it there. And there's the end, and there's the top. Okay, so are there any cons on this? I mean, you know, if you put a power head in, there's slight movement, but Does it stop it working? Definitely not. It still locks. I've got no problems with that, and a tiny little bit of play. Not really interested in that. And you could argue, well, the 810BH, in other words, the 810 bit holder, which is newer, you may want to look at that. I get it. This is an older one, but does it do exactly the same job? It does. And are there any problems with it? No. So I don't really have any problems with that. The one other thing that, it's not a con, but it's a strange oddity. Why is there a magnet in there if you have to do that anyway to get them in? You can't just quickly put it in, and then why is the magnet not very powerful? So, okay, there's a little question there that someone may be able to answer below. But I'm going to give this in fact, for the price, I'm going to have to give it a 9. What else can I have a go? I like the grip, I like the price, I like the locking system. Very little play. There is some, I admit that. I like the handle. It's very comfortable. Bear in mind I'm sort of about 6'4" here, so I'm quite large. But I'll compare that to, there's a soft finish from the VHAR there. So similar. It is wider, but that is probably better for me. So if you have smaller hands, you may want to look at some of the VHAR stuff. There's the PB Swiss ratcheting, just a size guide, and there's a Vera. That is the larger handle, or there are smaller Veras. So there, just so you can have a look at them together there. Okay, so I'll give it a 9. I'm happy with that. I'll try to keep this a quick review. So if you've got any comments or questions, stick them down below and I will do my best to answer them. Or if you think that's a lot of rubbish, I've got a way better one, or Klein do a better one, tell me and I'll go and have a look at it. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. Well done, Hazet. I might look at some more of your stuff. I was looking at some of your spanners and they look rather delicious. And I will have a look at them, so get on with your day. Goodbye.